President Olusegun Matthew Okikiola Aremu Obasanjo. Your parents saw the future and named you well. I know you will forgive me, Baba, sir, for calling you Matthew, but allow me to do so, since it is in the Bible, and you obtain your PhD in theology. I really don't know, sir, why you dropped Matthew from the list of your names. But as your son, I disagree. And I have now put it back with biblical support. As Matthew was an apostle, an elder, so have you become an elder of your generation. As Matthew was an evangelist, so have you become an evangelist for peace, reconciliation, and stability in Nigeria, Africa, and globally. You are a preacher of peace, or shall I say, an apostle of peace. It is no wonder that everyone calls you Baba of Africa, the father of Africa. Whether it is working to bring warring factions together in the Horn of Africa or in other parts of the continent, your words of wisdom, pacifism, doctrine of inclusiveness, native intelligence, and the ability to forge consensus in very complex and near impossible situations continue to make you stand out. And as Matthew always spoke in parables, so do you, Baba, always engage every conversation in parables. Whether you like it or not, sir, you are Matthew. Your name, Okikiola, the proclamation of honor, propelled you to become the head of state of Nigeria at the age of 37. It also propelled you to become the president of Nigeria 25 years later at the age of 62. Your name, Olusegun, meaning God has given victory, has made you victorious over all challenges, circumstances, and situations. Your name, Aremu, meaning heir, first son, heir of the family, came to pass as you became the heir as president of Nigeria. So, dearest Baba, your names are now complete. Under your visionary and outstanding leadership as head of state and later as president, Nigeria achieved remarkable growth and accelerated development. Your deft diplomatic touches garnered much respect and pride for Nigeria on the global stage. Your exemplary life gives us all much reason to celebrate. Today, as we rejoice with you on your 88th birthday, it is a day that is also celebrated by all whom your incredible life has touched and blessed. I am one of those persons. Without you kindly nominating me for consideration by former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, I will not have been a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And if I had not been a minister, I could not have become the president of the African Development Bank Group that I am today. Thank you very much again, sir. On this auspicious occasion, my wife Yemisi and I greatly rejoice with you and your family and wish you increased blessings of God for good health, strength, grace, and wisdom to continue to serve God and humanity as you have always done. My dearest Baba, the only request I have is that now that you are 88, that's 2 8s, so even, I request that you use your new age, sir, to confer on me Akin 48 instead of Akin 45 as you usually call me. So at least I can benefit from one of those 2 8s. So here is from Akin 48 and Yemisi 52. So respectfully submitted, subject to your kind consideration and approval, sir. Happy birthday, dearest Baba. I love you, buddy.
Thank you very much. restored completely. And Baba will tell us whether they answered or not. Now we're going to take on the next goodwill message, and that is from Dr. Benedict Rama. Dr. Benedict Rama.
Baba, you served as a young man in the Congo to help bring peace through the United Nations to that troubled country. You fought the civil war in Nigeria. You helped to reunify Nigeria. As a commander of the Federal Forces at the end of the war, it is to your credit that the war ended as a simple quarrel among brothers and sisters. You will remain a lone voice of courage and wisdom even when other voices are crushed and shut up in fear. You've served and continue to serve as the conscience of the nation. You are 88 today, Baba, but you've built a legacy that has formed the foundation of a Nigeria that will last for thousands of years after you. You've helped restore the dignity of Africans. You've made it possible for some of us to regard ourselves not necessarily from the point of view of the country we come from, but rather the point of view of Africa. We pray that God gives you many more years of good health and wisdom so that you can continue to inspire, so that you can continue to serve as a role model for the younger generation. We hope that you can continue to mold the leaders that can do even greater things than you've done. We hope and pray that all the effort, all the sacrifices you've made will not be in vain. And I send this message from Barbados, and I'm very pleased to inform you, Baba, that Prime Minister Maya Momodli also sends her best wishes to you on the occasion of your 88th birthday. Have a great day, and may God bless you.
Man, thank you very much.
Dear President, dear General, this is a message from your old partner, friend, admirer for 42 years, who, as you may remember, has created also this Leadership for Africa book. Now, I want to congratulate you on what your team says is the 88th birthday. This book, however, says that you turned 60 in 1995, so you are actually 90. But I don't want to argue on a happy moment, as we are. And you said in a letter to me that no matter what the documents say, you know that you were born on the 5th of April, 1935. So here we are, and I am so happy to be able to convey to you my warmest wishes to you, as one said, who is a man of many meanings. Now, when you came out from prison, you remember that you said you are a VIP. Now, this was a very important prisoner, as you said, or political prisoner. But actually, you have been a VIP 1 when you were a soldier and a general, ending the Biafra War. You were a VIP when you became then president. You were a VIP 2 when you then created the Africa Leadership Forum and you became a politician, a very important politician, who was not only involved with African matters, but also became an international figure with the Commonwealth's Eminent Persons Group, with the participation in the Interaction Council, which you still chair, and with your quest to become Secretary General of the UN, unfortunately not successful. So then, in that time, you also were a very important producer of food. You were a chicken farmer on the otter farm, and everybody did pilgrimage to the otter farm to meet you and to talk to you. And then came the period of the VIP 3, which I would call the very important political prisoner when Abacha threw you in the gables. VIP 4 began then with your 2 terms of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria again. And everybody, I think, is still longing back to those days when you were having the responsibility for the state and for Nigeria, for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And then came VIP 5, peace activists, very important peace activists in South Africa, in Sudan, in Kenya. So you did what almost nobody could have imagined would be possible. You were a leader, you were a global leader. And so in these days when everybody is worried what is happening with the war in Ukraine, maybe there is a moment where General Olusegun Obasanjo, Baba, President, has to give some urgent advice to President Zelensky and Trump how to deal with the present situation. Multilateralism is in mortal danger. The UN has disappeared. So all what we were waiting and fighting for is no longer there. So we really want you to see how you can possibly put your magic wand in your hand and see how you can help the world. This would be the best birthday gift, not only for you, but for all of us. Now, Mary, Anush, his wife, Emmy, whom you met in New York once, and our little granddaughter, Avalina, send all their warmest regards and best wishes for health, happiness, and, I should say, impact on the world stage. All the very best.
Thank you very much. This is from the academic community in Africa.
Your Excellency, Chief Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo, GCFR, former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is with great joy, deep admiration, and immense respect that I bring you warm greetings from the Association of African Universities in Accra, Ghana, the umbrella body representing higher education institutions across Africa. Today is a day of celebration, a moment of great significance as we congratulate a true icon of our time, a great African leader on his 88th birthday. On behalf of the over 3,000 universities across Africa, and on behalf of millions of students, scholars, and researchers who have benefited from your leadership, I stand here with great pride to say, happy 88th birthday, Your Excellency, Chief Olusegun Aremu Obasanjo. We celebrate you today, not only for the years you have lived, but for the great impact you have made in the life of so many people that you have transformed in the African continent and beyond. Your Excellency, your name is forever linked to the advancement of higher education in Africa. You have been a tireless advocate of university education, recognizing that knowledge is the key to Africa's transformation. Your Excellency, you have not just advocated for education, you have personally embraced lifelong learning. At an age when many retire, you pursued a PhD in Christian theology from the National Open University of Nigeria, proving to the world that learning never stops. Let me thank you personally for your support to the Federal University of Agriculture, where I was the Vice Chancellor between 2012 and 2017. Your Excellency, you are not just an advocate for higher education, you are one of Africa's greatest leaders and statesmen. We congratulate you on this special occasion and we say happy birthday to you.
Obasanjo, on this very important day in your life that marks your 88th birthday, I'm honored to be given a chance to join. For sure of this, countless admirers, leaders, and the citizens across the world in celebrating your remarkable life and enduring legacy. Your dedication to Nigeria's development, your tireless efforts in promoting peace and democracy, and your profound impact on global affairs are truly inspiring. May this special day be a reflection of the many lives you have touched, and may the years ahead continue to bless you with good health, wisdom, and joy. You are a true beacon of leadership, and your contributions will forever resonate through the ages. Africa is very, very proud of you. Happy 88th birthday, Your Excellency. May the Lord continue to bless you, and may His face continue to shine on you and be gracious to you always. With the utmost respect and warm wishes, Ambassador Dr. Mary M. Kimuru. The Kenyan lady who says her other home in Africa is Abeokuta, for having been given the chances to participate in your different organized programs and those of the Institute for the African Culture and International Understanding. I wish you more God's blessings to come your way. Happy 88th birthday, Baba. I'm honored to let you know that 5th of March is your birthday. The day after, 6th of March, is my birthday. God bless you.
Thank you, Ambassador Dr.
Professor Alejandro Jose Gallar Martinez of Georgia Southern University in Savannah, Georgia. And this is my hello to Baba. I was honored to have met Baba 10 years ago when I was invited by Professor Peter Okebukula as an expert with the Africa Progress Group. Thank you for enriching the lives of the Nigerian people and the African continent. I wish you the best in the coming years, especially your efforts in improving Nigeria, Africa, and the world. Baba, I wish you a very happy 88th birthday, Alejandro.
Thank you very much. This man has to prosper, and he still carries the memory of that event. So we have come to the end of that phase. There'll be several other goodwill messages. We're going to take goodwill messages from our.
mi pa. Ó ṣe mo dúpẹ́ yín bàbá mi. Lágbára lọ́wọ́ ọbẹ̀ òní bá wèrè jẹun. Ó yá ìràwé gbó kò ní jẹyà kó jẹ kó. Ó yá ìràwé ọ̀dàn kó máa jẹyà kó jọ̀dàn. Ẹlẹ́dàá wa kó máa jẹyà kó jẹ mí. Ìràwé igbó kó máa jẹyà kó jẹ kó. Ìràwé ọ̀dàn. Ó yá ẹlẹ́dàá wa kó máa jẹyà kó jẹ mí. Ó yá mo di olóríire o àti di olóríire. Àdi olóríire o àti di olóríire. Ìṣe láyọ̀ á ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Màmá mi Àjàyí, oko máa ká góńgó ṣọdún. Wà má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wà má bọ̀rẹ̀. Ó yẹ ká lè dúpẹ́, ó yẹ ká lè dúpẹ́. Fọlọ́run tó dẹ̀ ṣe wá lóore. Òtítọ́ ni ẹni abáṣe lóore. Tí kì bá dẹ̀ dúpẹ́, bí ọlọ́ṣà kò ní lẹ́rù lọ. Bàbá Olúṣẹ́gun, wọ́n ṣọ̀pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá sí ọdún eléyìí. Kò ní jáṣe mọ́. Wọ́n ṣọ̀pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá sí.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're going to be back again of Ogun State. And I tell you, I've been watching you, sir, with keen interest. And I can see the giant strides that you are making in the education sector, science and technology sector of Ogun State. Thank you for accepting our invitation to review this book. And I'm inviting you for 15 minutes to give us your review of the book. Lest we forget, Slavery, Slave Trade, Emancipation and Reparation by Olusegun Obasanjo, editor.
Your Excellencies, Baba, published by OPL, 2025, 333 pages. This book presents a compelling and multidimensional exploration of slavery, this transatlantic slave trade and colonization, intertwining with historical analysis with poetic expression to offer a deeply resonant African perspective. Through evocative verses, it captures the lived experiences, memories, and narratives of the victims, moving beyond the conventional historical accounts to foreground African voices in the retelling of these traumatic histories. At its core, the book introduces the concept of triadic relationship, connecting Africans globally through shared experiences of forced migration, cultural disruption, and historical injustice. This framework enriches the discourse on historical justice, racial equity, and reparative policies, bridging past atrocities with contemporary struggles for recognition and redress. The poetic verses serve not only as a powerful artistic medium, but as a critical lens through which the European enterprise in Africa is scrutinized, exposing the continent's truncated progress and the long shadow of colonial exploitation. Beyond historical reflection, the book engages in urgent debates on reparation, forcefully arguing that Africa deserves compensation for the centuries of systemic plunder, displacement, and trauma inflicted by slavery and colonialism. It challenges Western hegemony in knowledge production, advocating the elevation of ingenious African epistemologies and perspectives. By critically examining the complexity of labor systems and notions of freedom within Africa, it dismantles revisionist narratives that seek to absorb the West of culpability in the slave trade. Ultimately, the book is more than a historical account. It is a call to action. It underscores the necessity of reparatory justice and insists on the inclusion of African nations in global discussion on reparations. However, its impact is inevitably shaped by the editor's dual role as both organizer and contributor, a dynamic that influences the coherence, framing, and interpretative lens. Through its fusion of history, poetry, and advocacy, this work stands as a timely and essential contribution to ongoing global conversation on justice, equity, and historical memory. Let me just give a brief summary of the content. Overview of the structure. The book comprises of 14 chapters, and basically, when you look at chapters 1 to 4, that one examines the origin and impact of transatlantic slave trade. 5 to 8 is basically exploration of colonial rule, resistance movements, and the path to emancipation. Chapters 9 to 12 analyze post-emancipation struggles, neo-colonial structures, and economic disenfranchisement. While 13 and 14 discuss contemporary reparation debates and policy-driven solutions. P.J. Patterson sets the tone for the book by underscoring the necessity for remembering the atrocities of slavery and transatlantic slave trade. He contends that their lasting legacy continues to affect people of African descent, manifesting in poverty, social alienation, and racial discrimination. Advocating for reparative justice, Patterson asserts that the case for reparative justice is irrefutable and compelling. That's according to Patterson on page 3. Chapter 1 of the book, which actually was written by Olusegun Obasanjo. In that chapter, gave a brief account of how the book came into existence. According to him, it was a gentleman's agreement between himself and his friend, P.J. Patterson, the most honorable Percival James Patterson, former Prime Minister of Jamaica. In his introduction, Obasanjo outlines the book's structure and themes, emphasizing the necessity of understanding the historical context of slavery and colonialism to effectively address present-day challenges. He underscores the importance of continuous awareness and education in ensuring that such atrocities never recur. Additionally, he strongly advocates for reparation and justice for the victims and their descendants, affirming, according to Obasanjo, on page 5, we must forgive, but we must never forget. In chapter 2, Table, on the title Emerging Twisted Narratives on Slavery, Table examines the impact of slavery and its slave trade on the Mugamo people in southern Cameroon. She argues that transatlantic slave trade disrupted local economies and social structures, leading to long-term underdevelopment. Table also highlights the importance of setting the historical record straight to counter emerging twisted narratives about slavery. In chapter 3, by Akim I. Tijani, titled Linkages, Slavery, Slave Trade, and Colonialism, Tijani explores the correlation between slavery, the slave trade, and colonialism in Africa. He argues that historical events are major metrics in dissecting the continent's underdevelopment. Tijani uses African narratives and poetic verses to provide a decolonial perspective on these issues. Also, chapter 4, written by Tijani, this chapter contextualizes the varieties of colonial policies and systems in Africa. Tijani compares its administrative policies of different European colonial powers and their impact on African society. He concludes that colonialism reconfigured African societies, leading to long-term underdevelopment and exploitation. In chapter 5,
David Commission discusses the global struggle against racism and the importance of reparations. He highlights the outcome of 2001 UN World Conference Against Racism in Durban and the ongoing efforts to address the legacies of slavery and colonialism. Commission argues that reparations are not just about financial compensation, but also about social and political justice. In Chapter 6, titled Colonialism, Counter-Hegemony, and the Struggle for Human Dignity by Olutayo Charles Adesina. Adesina examines the ongoing struggle against neocolonialism and imperialism in Africa. He argues that decoloniality and counter-hegemony are essential for achieving human dignity and sustainable development. Adesina calls for a rethinking of global relations to address the deep-seated inequalities perpetuated by colonialism. In Chapter 7, John Ayotunde Isholabewagi discusses the importance of intellectual property rights in the context of African civilization. He argues that appropriation of African knowledge and resources by Western powers has contributed to the continent's underdevelopment. Bewagi calls for reparative justice to address historical injustices. In Chapter 8, Peter Okebukola examined the impact of slavery and colonialism on education in Africa. He highlights the disruption of indigenous knowledge system and the imposition of Eurocentric curricula. Okebukola discusses the effort to decolonize education and promote indigenous knowledge. In Chapter 9, Tiffany explores the theoretical and practical aspect of slavery reparation. She discusses historical precedents for reparation, such as those for Holocaust survivors and Japanese American returnees. In Chapter 10, Shola Akinriade examines the long-term impact of transatlantic slave trade on Africa's development and argues that the trade led to demographic, social, and economic disruptions that have contributed to the continent's underdevelopment. In Chapter 11, Paulette A. Ramsey explores the cultural, literary connections between Africa and the Caribbean and in Latin America, and she highlights the contribution of African Hispanic writers and the importance of preserving Africa-derived culture. Chapter 11 discusses the historical roots of racism and the dehumanization of black people. In that chapter, Holden argued that these ideologies were created to justify slavery and colonialism and have persisted into the present day. In Chapter 13, P.J. Peterson examines global Africa's cultural resilience and contribution, emphasizing the need for inclusion, economic empowerment, and educational reform, particularly for Africa's descent in Latin America. Chapter 14, concluding remarks, looking back, looking forward by Olusegun Obasanjo. In this chapter, Olusegun Obasanjo underscores the need for the European Union to formally acknowledge and apologize for and legislate against its role in the transatlantic slave trade. He calls for on the AU, CARICOM, and NAACP to accept the apologies while ensuring that the horrors of slavery remains in global memory. Only through remembrance and accountability can we guarantee that such inhumanity is never repeated, lest we forget. A critical analysis of the strengths, limitations, and scholarly contributions of this book. Lest we forget presents a well-structured exploration of slavery, colonialism, and reparation, offering a clear progression from historical injustices to modern implications. Its diverse perspectives spanning historical, economic, and ethical analysis enhance its depth, while accessible language makes it valuable for both scholars and general readers. The book effectively bridges academic discourse and public engagement, reinforcing its significance in historical justice literature. The editor, Duago, may introduce biases, particularly in framing the policy recommendations. Some chapters could benefit from deeper engagement with primary sources or comparative case studies. And at times, the book prioritizes breadth over depth, leaving certain complex issues underexplored. A broader inclusion of African, Caribbean, and indigenous perspectives will further enrich the reparation discourse. Despite this limitation, the book synthesizes historical and contemporary discussions, serving as a crucial resource for students, educators, policymakers, while compelling, it serves critical engagement to fully grasp its strength and frame. Ultimately, Lest We Forget stands as an essential contribution to the understanding the lasting impact of slavery and the ongoing fight for justice and reparation. Conclusion. Lest We Forget, a call to reckon, restore, and rebuild. Lest We Forget is far more than historical account. It is a resounding call to conscience, meticulously crafted indictment of the atrocities committed against Africa in the diaspora, and unrelenting demand for justice. This book does not merely document the horrors of slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, and colonial exploration. It dissects the enduring legacies, lays bare the structural injustices that persist to this day. It calls for reparation, decolonization and a fundamental shift in the global historical narrative to recognize the resilience, agency, and rightful claims of those who have borne the weight of this historical injustice. Though incisive scholarship and compelling arguments, through that the contributors offer an unvarnished truth. Slavery and colonialism were not merely aberrations of history, but calculated systems of oppression that shaped the modern world. The book challenges the international community, government, institutions, policymakers to move beyond rhetoric and take concrete action towards restorative justice. It underscores the call for reparations. It's not just about financial compensation, but about moral, legal, and institutional reckoning required to dismantle the neo-colonial structures that continue to disadvantage African nations and their people. This book stands as a vital intellectual moral resource, essential for historians, scholars, post-colonial studies, policymakers, and global citizens committed to justice. It is not just a passive read. It demands reflection, critical engagement, and most importantly, action. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth, to challenge dominant narratives, and to recognize the true emancipation is still an ongoing battle. In the end, its message is unmistakable and urgent. We must remember. We must resist historical amnesia. We must demand a future built on justice and equity. The sins of the past must not be forgotten, for only in remembering can we ensure that history's darkest chapters are never repeated, lest we forget. Thank you very much. I commend it to all of you.
Colonialism, emancipation, and reparation. It's not merely a book. It's an act of historical reclamation, a defiant affirmation of our truth, and a clarion call to unity and collective action for global Africa. I was thrilled and eager to collaborate with my brother, President Olusegun Obasanjo, and all the all the eminent scholars who contributed to producing this impressive volume. It confronts the brutal realities of our past while guiding us towards a future of justice and solidarity. It would not have come at a more critical time when there's a shifting of the tectonic plates on which we have rested hegemonic forces, military alliances, economic theories, and ethnic divide. This highly anticipated publication is of immense importance and timely relevance because we are engaged in a battle One fought not merely with weapons, but more in constant combats of words, language, the power of technology, and with a license no longer consistent with truth. It is the audacity of those who seek to rewrite the perilous transatlantic slaves as mere migration, and who seek to obliterate the centuries of untold suffering inflicted upon our people, that oblige the scholar to compile this book of essays, and in this moment that compels us to sharpen our swords and gird our loins. We stand here today to say no more, never again. The book reflects an irrefutable narrative. The European pursuit of the trade along Africa's coasts robbed the continent of its human potential. The kidnapping and abduction of its sons and daughters resulted in genocide, dehumanization, and exploitation not previously witnessed in the history of mankind. The consequences of this deliberate underdevelopment still shape our world today. That is what Professor told us. The pernicious bequests of slavery demand full reparations now. This book reclaims our urgency. It reminds us that we, as Africans and African descent, are not passively subjects of history, but original architects of civilization. Shola Akinrade aptly contextualized the enduring legacy of the transatlantic slave trade. The human traffic, I'm quoting Shola Akinrade in the book now, the inhuman traffic in slaves ensured that Africans continued to contend with the historical burden of prejudice and contempt accorded only to slaves or lowly, despised and detested human beings. This book does not merely reflect on the past. It calls us to action. The time has come to build without delay an enduring bridge, a platform where our unbreakable bonds can uplift our people, transforming our tested resilience and into a resounding victory. We, the descendants of the enslaved and colonized, are the custodians of a legacy that demands more than remembrance. We must build institutions, strengthen alliances, and forge new paradigms that dignity, our sovereignty, assert, and our rightful place in the world. Lest we forget, it's more than to remind us. It is to inspire and make us resolute. Never again. It's a crusade to awaken our collective destiny and an urgent call to battle in the continuing struggle to assert our sovereignty in the fashion that enables the fulfillment of the potentials of global Africa. Let us honor our ancestors not merely with words, but with deeds. Let us ensure that the history we write today is one of triumph, of unity, and of an African and a diaspora that will never again be subjugated, but remain one, indivisible and triumphant. These are the words of P.J. Patterson, who wrote the foreword to this great book. We will now take a short drama, and I will invite Sunday. Yes. Oh, they're here. Yeah, please, let's have the short drama relating to this first book.
Reparation. Words we've heard before, but never experienced. Let me paint a picture.
Animals, food, pigeons, food, move, animals.
ọmọ mi ò òde oríire yá ọmọ mi wá lọ sóríire.
You are welcome to my palace. Have your seat. OC, you are welcome. Have your seat.
Kábíyèsí o. See, this is my son. Come on, Dọ̀bálẹ̀. My son, Ọmọ Wálé, I want you to take him to the white man's house to go and go in, bro.
Kábíyèsí o. Please come to my Dọ̀bálẹ̀. Kábíyèsí, help me. I want him to take him to the white man's land so that I can be successful. Don't worry, my people. Have taken other sons to the white man's land. They are now successful by now. I believe your own story will also be the same. Guys, take them inside.
Èrìlà ò ní yọ̀sì bá a ti fẹ́ lórí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lórí èrìlà jálọ mẹ́mú.
Oyibore, Mr. Charles, you are welcome to my palace.
King of the Ray. I hope I have my selections there.
Yes, I've prepared them behind.
Or I have this for you. This is a bag of money.
Hey, this whole amount of money for me?
Yes, for you.
I will get a new wife with this. Don't worry.
Can I help them now?
Yes, take him. I will follow you.
My name is Chief Dr. Enopo Ganusi, the presidential candidate from the party RBD. My people, calm your nerves. I'm going to build houses for you. There are going to be electricity in this village. In fact, it will be free. I will even put AC in all the villages. Every village we have an airport. If you can only vote for me in the next election, don't worry, I'm going to do it for you. Thank you. Enupo. Chief Enupo. Garusi.
Honorable Ganusi, how are you doing? How are you really going to fulfill all those promises you made up there?
Oh, Mr. Charles, I cannot fulfill all those promises. You see, all those promises are based on a post-dichotomy, and I, Chief Ganusi, will never fulfill it.
Oh, that's very thoughtful of you. If you can stick to our promises, your promises, you can have this. Give it time. Many of these are still on me. If you can't stick to our promises, nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Go and get me the new elected youth leader. Gentlemen, it has come to my notice that you're not the new elected youth leader.
Yes, of course.
See, I want to let you to know that all those promises I made are based on a flawed assumption.
What?
Wait, calm down. I have a lot of gifts for you. I have this token for you. If only you can convince the people so that they can vote for me on the next election day.
For me?
Don't worry. And me, Chief Ganusi, will not be the next president. Don't worry, please take this. Thank you very much.
Hey, Mill!
It's
Animus!
I said Mill! Hey,
Mill! Idiots! Animus! Mill! Idiots! Oh, Mr. Campbell, how are you doing?
Doing fine. How far about the trip to the colonization?
Oh, I've been to such trips that even the kings did not have idea what was coming.
Okay, I'm heading to the white.
Or see you some other times. Hey, you sorry while I take a leak.
My
Idiots.
Escape!
dare you come here? Idiots, move! I said move! Idiots! Nonsense!
Ajayi yola o, ajayi ni o, yobe yola o.
Otu ya here.
Oh, see you two are here.
You see, by now, my son would have been a professor.
By now, my son must. Omowale, what's up with you?
Father, the king is lying to us.
Ah! Villagers!
The king is oppressing us. The white men, they are oppressing us. The king is lying to us.
The king must fall! The king must fall! The king must fall!
Give them money so that I can help.
Say your vote, 10,000.
10,000.
Say your vote, 10,000.
What are you doing?
Say your vote, 10,000.
What are you doing? Why are you selling your vote? This is not how it is done. You are selling your vote. This is not how it is done. The politicians are doing this before because of your ignorance. In fact, this is the money they gave you just to convince the people to vote for them. Inside the bush, chase him away. Inside the bush.
Shifenuko, where are you coming from?
The people banished me away from the village.
My people also banished me.
The people are now wise now.
Yes, before it was slavery of the body. Now it is now the slavery of the mind. What should we do? If only our people can stand against these religious forces that are against the ideals of democracy in our nation. And we must fight for a free and fair election in our country. Then our country will be better.
Fellow students, I want us to know that the heights attained by the great countries in the world are not reached by sudden flights. But while their colleagues left, they kept toiling in the night. Just like Nigeria before, United States of America was under the British colony. But through hard work, Americans put their past behind them and fought ahead. They make the greatness of their country an occasion of which all of them goes up to. Then, Nigeria has no excuse not to be great. Let us build a future that honors our past, but is not bound by it. Therefore, it's high time we began to celebrate our great leaders like Chief Olusegun, Matthew Okikiola, Ogunboye Aremu, Matthew Okiola Obasanjo, who remains an enigma of the whole world. At the head of state in 1979, he left more than enough in the coffer for democracy to thrive. Again, when he came to office in 1999, Nigeria's debt stood almost around $36 billion, which he reduced drastically to $3.5 billion. Thank God we have a mentor like him. We have a lot to learn from him. We do not look to the past, we look to the future with hope and determination. Let us build a today that honors our tomorrow. And with God, Nigeria will become great again to the expectation of our Baba of the whole wide world. No! Forward ever, backward never. Thank you.
Who will give his goodwill message and tell us what support we're going to get on this book and the other two. And we will, Your Excellency, we're expecting you here, sir. Thank you, sir.
Happiness can leave, but it helps if we believe in a love song. There's a part of you and me in every minute.
Well, I'm so glad that I could make it here today for my Baba's 80th birthday. And for that, I always like to praise God for God keeping him at this time, and he's still looking good. Olúwa mi, mo dúpẹ́. Olúwa mi, mo dúpẹ́. Olúwa mi, mo dúpẹ́. Mo dúpẹ́, mo dúpẹ́, mo dúpẹ́. Sing along with me. Olúwa mi, mo dúpẹ́. Olúwa mi, mo dúpẹ́. Olúwa mi, mo dúpẹ́.
mo dúpẹ́ mo dúpẹ́ mo dúpẹ́ èmi nìkan ló yẹ kò lè yé ẹnìkankan ìdí tí mo fi yìn bàbá èmi nìkan ló yẹ èmi nìkan ló yẹ kò lè yé ẹnìkankan ìdí tí mo fi yìn bàbá èmi nìkan ló. The last one. Èmi ìwọ lọ́lọ́run wí ìwọ ẹlẹ́dàá mi ọba wọn ọba olúwa olúwa ọba títí láyé kò lè yí padà èmi ó máa yìn ọ́ títí ayé. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Former president of our great country Nigeria, the celebrant of today, Baba wa Chief Olusegun Obasanjo and his lovely wife, former governor of Osun State, former governor of Ogun State, and former governor of Jigawa here present, serving and former National Assembly members here present, Speaker of Osun State, of Assembly, Right Honorable Adewale Egbedu, other political functionaries here present, our royal fathers, captains of industry, important personalities here present, notably Yusuf Dati, Baba wa Chief Gezintin Adebutu, religious leaders here present, notably Reverend Esther Ajayi, families, friends, and well-wishers, sons and daughters of Egbaland here present, security operatives, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I declare today again that today is the day that the Lord has made. And it is always an honor and privilege to be with our Father and the Father. Hello, stop making noise, please. Fan making noise. I will start all over again. It is always an honor and privilege to be with our Father of Africa and former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Baba's impact and reach is monumental and far-reaching. His robust record as the president and are historical. His roles at continental and global stages are landmark legacy. Baba has laid a foundation in this country. I could remember vividly when my predecessor, former governor of Osun State, Prince Olaguse Oyinlola, we were sitting in my brother's country home, the first executive governor of Osun State, Isiaka Adetunji Adeleke, and the phone rang. That is when we have the first communication in Nigeria, whereby everybody, even your driver, your cook, can even have, GSM, at that time. Let's give Baba a big round of applause. And again, Baba, as a prudent administrator, now introduced EFCC. And anytime everybody heard that EFCC, you watch your back. That when you leave office, whatever that you do, it might catch up with you. And of course, Baba taught us to have what he called integrity. when you say you want to do something, you need to do it. I learned that from Baba. When everybody was saying that I dance too much, I sing too much, I dance too much, Baba will call me, my son, I declare you as my dancing partner. And Baba encouraged me, and he said, don't listen to anybody. As long you are dancing and you are performing, I'm okay with it. Everybody tried to stop me from dancing. And he said, because a lot of people feel in Nigeria here too, when you are a governor or a senator or something, you should not express your personal self. And I just believe that that is not me. Baba will call me, say, go ahead and dance. Even I will dance with you. I will let the whole world know that you are my dancing partner. And of course, since you are performing, I'm so proud of you. So, and I learned a lot from Baba, because anytime I need an advice, I will call him. Recently, when I have crisis of the local government, and Baba told me that, listen, as long as you are the part of law, and then just go with that. We are in the democracy. Once you know that you are part of the law and the rule of law, you have to use wisdom. And I'm glad to tell Baba today, Oshu is calm, Oshu is normalized right now, because of that wisdom that Baba gave me. And Baba, I'm so happy that today, when I saw you, you are still looking radiant. You are still, I mean, it's a grace. It's a grace. Not many people have this grace. And my prayer is that you still live long for us, so that we, your son, will continue to have that advice. And I have to thank you for giving me a loyal deputy governor, because you trained my deputy governor, Prince Kola Adewusi. He worked with you in the farm for a long time, and he rise to the post of general manager. So a lot of people come to me, they said, okay, this is your deputy governor. He's so stingy. He doesn't give money anyhow. We will take something to him, and you say, well, if I don't talk to my Oga, I will not do anything, or I will not sign. If you call my deputy governor, Oga say you should go and represent him somewhere, he will say, until I hear from my Oga. So, and I called him one day, I said, come. If somebody call you, I said that. He said, no, that is not what my father taught me, Baba Olusegun Obasanjo. He said, whatever you do, you have to be loyal to your boss. And if you know that you're not going to be loyal to your boss, then resign. So I'm so happy that since inception of our administration, we are now 2 years and some few months. Osun State, I need for you to all come to Osun State. Osun State is a beautiful state now, and it's the most peaceful state in Nigeria. Before, Satan tried to spoil it, but God has restored normalcy in Osun State. So, with him with by my side, we've been so prudent without borrowing any money, and all our 5-point agenda, we met it. Even Baba came over to commission some projects, and there's still some projects that we're going to start commission. We're not going to let anything distract us. We want to make sure that our people have the dividends of democracy, as Baba has taught us. So what I would just say is that, Baba, me too bad right for you, but àdúrà tí màá ṣe ni pé ní agbára Ọlọ́run ẹ pẹ́ fún wa. You be 90, you be 100, you be 120, and if you go for long. On that note, with this beautiful book, lest we forget, I'm going to whisper. to my Baba and tell him what I'm going to donate. I thank you all for listening. God bless you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Excellency.
Everybody's weeping, but the singers are singing their love song.
Yeah, you can see the two of them dancing now. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're just going to take a couple more goodwill messages and the support for this board. Say, no, that one of my pocket. I can't tell the Omonile about how long they should take. Of course, sir.
What I feel in my...
Thank you, Prof. I'll be brief though. Baba, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Please allow me to rest on established protocol so that I will not take much time. Baba, ẹ kú oríire ni o. Oríire yìí. Láàárọ̀ yìí, when I went to see him, we actually, as always, we disagree. I saw him very early and he said we should go. And I said, okay, let's enter the car. He said, no, I'm going to walk. I said, Baba, when you talk to us, we take all of the things you tell us. We obey you, we do everything. He just did like this to me. And I know that I've lost it, we have to walk. So we walk all together from that place to the hall. Baba, the Almighty Lord will continue to strengthen you. Yes, everybody is here. We said, Baba, we are celebrating 88. But I know, and Baba is somebody that what you see is what you get. No pretension about it. Baba said even his birthday, he doesn't even know the exact day or the time. All he knew was that Ijo Jaifo. So, and I know that it is truly Ijo Jaifo. And I'm happy that Baba's very, very close friend and classmate is here. And when you do the arithmetic, we were talking there with Governor Yola, that Baba certainly, people will pray that Baba will be 90, you will be this. I'm praying that Baba will be 100 because I know Baba is more than 90. But that is not for today. This one is for the official, something that we normally celebrate. Baba Lubara is here, maybe 94 or 93. Baba Dewolu is here, 92. All of, all of his mates, all of them, there is no one that is not more than 92. So do the arithmetic, you will know that what we are doing today, we are just fulfilling all righteousness that Baba is 88. But we, Baba's son, know that Baba is 90, maybe 4 or something. But let me say this, Baba, well done. There are so many things that you can accuse Baba of. Being human, but something that nobody can take away from him. Baba is a true Nigerian. Baba is pan-Nigeria. Baba will work with anybody. Baba, anywhere they talk about this, I defend you. And everybody will agree with me that if it's about this Nigeria, Baba is one person. And I'm happy that you've seen what happened. People come from everywhere. Even some days ago, they just did party for him. I said, you can't quarantine Baba to just Ogun State or something. Baba is a Nigerian, pan-Nigeria at that. Baba will be warmly welcome in Akwa Ibom, in Jigawa, in everywhere he goes, because that is him for you. And Baba is not just pan-Nigeria, pan-Africanism. Baba, well done, well done, well done. I can say this is, Baba loves his community, he loves his country, he loves his continent, he loves the Commonwealth, the black race, and indeed the world. Baba, your people say Baba is troublesome, is this, is that. I said yes. That's your troublesome that you do, raw positively or not sometimes. In the vicinity they will say, go and tell your Baba. I tell you, go and tell him yourself. And one day, we just went there. He said, we tell him. All of them, in the Senate, we went. They were boasting that we got to tell him. I said, okay, let's go. We went there. In that we all ran out of the place. When Baba came and said, who said this? Everybody kept quiet. I said, you are the people that saying that we deal with Baba now. This is Baba now. They can't talk. So whenever they see me, it gives me some kind of, they will tell me that we are dealing with photocopy. You that deals with the original every day, so how do you cope? I said, thank you. That is our Baba for you. That is what we are made of. You will see Baba every day running around for global peace, particularly for African peace. But Baba, let me tell you one day, I got emotional. Maybe you will remember this. I've seen you severally when we go out for all this foreign assignment and function. We were in South Africa. We were doing this AU summit. And somehow Baba doesn't get late. But this day, profoundly, I don't know what happened. He got late. And that day, I was in tears of joy. Because we were there. He knows it. They will say, maybe the president +5 or +3. We were just president +4. We were there with President Buhari and all of us. So they now called the house to order. Just when they were starting like this, the door just opened. Everybody was like this. Who is this? And it was Baba. Wow. Believing you me, all the presidents, everybody there, including the Secretary General of the United Nations, everybody stood up. Baba was there for about 7 minutes, greeting everybody from one. Everybody stood up. And I looked like this. President Buhari was there. General Absalom was there. In fact, they took, you will see, everybody saw it. Everybody stood. And he greeted everybody one after another, one after another. Then he now said, the man now said, okay, we have to restart. He now recalled the house to order. So well done, Baba. So when they were talking about, I listened to the Professor Egosa. If you need citation, you know, I am happy that you said that when we talk about colonization and everything, Nigeria is not the only country that was colonized. No, Africa is not the only person. India and everybody, it's the same thing happened to them. But somehow they've managed to come out of that colonization. Those people that colonize us, of course, it pays them. They will not want to stop. They will not want to continue to do it for us. But it is us that will take that thing away from them, that you can't do it. Just look at all these, even, I don't want to use small, because they are small, but they are bigger than us now. You go to United Arab Emirates, you go to Qatar and all of those. Can they do what they are doing to them? They cannot. A very good example is this. I'm sorry, I don't want to get into any controversy, LGBT and all of those nonsense. Will you see them going to Qatar to preach that? No. Or to, they will not, because they respect themselves. It is good governance and leadership. So I'm happy with what Baba is doing about leadership and about good governance. Until we get it right, if you talk from morning to night, everything will still continue to happen. We've been brainwashed. Our perception of everything that, in fact, when you see, even if you say, oh, an Oyibo man, something happened in the mosque. Day before you're sitting in my place, we have a mosque. And my mom was saying, he saw them and said, our white friends, they have to stop because they are here. Who are the white friends? I don't want to even say this openly. Some people came to pray, all this level, everybody came to pray, we want to do Tarawih. I said, we saw some white friends doing ablution, you have to wait for them. You know the way we are. We've been in our brain, in our mindset, in our everything. It's there that they are superior to us, and they're not. So please, the ball is in our court. Good governance, good leadership, we'll get there. So Baba, thank you for all your efforts. And when you see Baba, please, that citation, you know what you should be doing. And this is it is a technology-driven world. Please take all those places where Baba goes to, from pet in Australia to this to that. When he goes in, please, they will give you those shots. Just like this we are doing birthday today, be playing so that Africans will say that at least we have one of our own that is respected everywhere. So all those citations that you are needing, just begin to play all of those. Look at what I told you today. We were in Japan one day, Baba walked in, everybody stood up to greet him, to play with him. So begin to do those are the citations that we want to be seen, so that people will know that we have Africans that are true Africans that is respected worldwide. So Baba, congratulations. When you talk to us, we obey. As governor, when I drive myself, so when I get to Baba, I say, don't ever in your life drive again. You want to add this physical stress to what you are doing? And I said, okay, I'll be doing that. So each time I go, one day we just got there, I drove. Baba just came, said, who is the man sitting beside you? He was one of my commissioners. Baba now called his CSO, said to come. He just said to bring his rifle, his pistol. He just took it. He said, the next time you start with him driving here, I'll blow your head. So I laughed. So I forgot. The next day, when we were about a week after, we want to go to Baba. He said, I'm not following you. Baba, you don't know him. He said he will blow my head. I said, okay, I know him. So anytime I'm going to Baba's place, I will drive. When we get to, I say, somebody should come and take, because Baba must not see me driving. Even this morning, I still obey it. So each time I tell Baba that, Baba, please, slow down. You are this, you are that. He said, okay. So I've given up, Baba. The only thing we'll pray for you is that what you love doing, that thing that you love doing, going around creating peace, looking for peace everywhere in the world, we'll pray for you to continue to do it. Because I know Baba will do this till his breath is last. So we can't stop you. That's your wahala, that's your trouble. Continue to do it. I thank you because Baba is at ease with kings, with presidents, with queens, but at more ease with his village people. And that is what I like about Baba. Baba tells us what to do. So Baba, of all the things they've given you, the one that I know you like most, and all of us love, is Ebora Owu. Congratulations. Thank you. I told Professor Okebukola that you don't preach to the Pope. We are the owner of whatever it is done. There's nobody that doesn't know Abeokuta now. Just before, yes, Abeokuta has been known, cradle of like from 18th century, but Baba has again bring Abeokuta to more limelight. Even look at this library. People come from all over the world to come and see. So for me, I will buy not just this one, the second one too I will buy. And you can be rest assured it will be 7-digit figures that I will buy each one of them.
I've just had a hectic journey. I'm sure most of the audience might have seen me gallivanting around the front. And I also want to greet all those who hold our country close to their hearts. Welcome, everybody. It's my singular honor to stand before you this morning. I wrote it when it was still morning. This afternoon to present a review of Nigeria past and future by His Excellency President Olusegun Obasanjo. Now I must begin with a confession. This is a peculiar moment for me. As a medical doctor turned writer, I find myself wearing multiple hats this afternoon. I am on the one hand the publisher of this book, a fact that should make me the most biased of reviewers. On the other hand, I'm a Nigerian whose duty it is to engage critically with any text that claims to examine the trajectory of our great nation. And there's a little personal history too. I am from a family of 5 ethnic groups: Bini, Urobo, Ishekiri, Igbo, and Ijo. I am the Niger Delta folded into one. Let us acknowledge the elephant in the room. Reviewing the book I published might be seen as a conflict of interest, but perhaps in the spirit of the book itself, which calls for an honest reckoning with Nigeria's past and future, I shall lean into this conflict with the same candor that the author employs. This is not a review born of commercial interest, but one of engagement, of disclosure, of discourse, of a desire to unpack what this book has to offer and why it, and where it might falter. Now, the book itself is titled Nigeria Past and Future, Contemplations on Nigeria's History and Vision for Tomorrow. It is structured into 20 chapters framed by a preface titled With the Benefit of Hindsight and a postscript titled Begin Again. President Obasanjo organizes his reflections into distinct themes, each chapter dedicated to a different segment of Nigerian society that has shaped, for better or worse, the country's trajectory. This methodical approach ensures that no major player in Nigeria's political and socio-economic landscape escapes unscathed. Now, we've talked about the preface. The book concludes with Begin Again, a postscript that is a call to action that summarizes President Obasanjo's key arguments. Here, he emphasizes that while Nigeria's past is filled with missteps, its future remains unwritten. He ends with a reflection that feels almost personal. I have done what I can. The question now is, will Nigeria do what it must? This structure, historical analysis, institutional critique, economic evaluation, and proposals for the future make Nigeria Past and Future a comprehensive exploration of the nation's realities. Each chapter builds on the previous, forming a compelling narrative that urges readers to engage, to debate, and to act. But let's speak about the premise of the book itself and the author's tone. From its very first pages, Nigeria Past and Future makes it clear that this is not an autobiography, nor is it a memoir of governance. President Obasanjo has already given us my watch, not my will, my command, amongst others, to chronicle his life and leadership. Instead, this book positions itself as a reflection, a rearview mirror, so to speak, held up not for nostalgia, but for critical assessment. The preface, fittingly titled "With the Benefit of Hindsight," sets the tone for what follows: a mix of reminiscence and relentless optimism. There's an almost confessional quality to the writing, a sense that President Obasanjo is speaking not just as a statesman, but as an elder reflecting on a life intertwined with Nigeria's fate. It does not shy away from acknowledging his own place in the narrative, stating candidly, "Now I'm getting close to my departure lounge, maybe without picking up my ticket." Some may say he has had his turn. He has not been perfect, so why is he sounding so sanctimonious? This self-awareness tempers the book's more didactic moments, allowing the reader to engage with its arguments without immediately dismissing them as the musings of a former leader seeking to absolve himself. Obasanjo's tone oscillates between frustration and hope. He is deeply critical of the choices made by successive governments and the complacency of our populace, writing, "Every Nigerian must be sad by the state of things today. What I have done here is call attention to these missed opportunities, mistakes, and underperformance, whether advertently or inadvertently." This lament runs through the book, but it is coupled, like I said, with an unwavering belief that Nigeria can still realize its full potential if it corrects course. This is not the voice of a cynic, but the voice of a man who, despite witnessing decades of misgovernance, still believes in the possibility of national redemption. A key feature, as we all know, of President Obasanjo's style of writing is his willingness to name names and confront uncomfortable truths. Unlike some political memoirs that skirt around contentious issues, Nigeria Past and Future addresses head-on the missteps of past administrations, including his own. His reflections on governance are unflinching, and it does not hesitate to critique individuals and institutions that have, in his view, failed Nigeria. Yet he is also careful to balance critique with acknowledgement of progress, citing moments when the country took significant strides forward despite overwhelming challenges. The book's tone is also notably pedagogical. There's an element of instruction in the way Obasanjo lays out his arguments, almost as though he's addressing a younger generation of leaders who might learn from the past. He frequently employs rhetoric to provoke reflection, asking in rhetorical questions, if we continue on this path, where will Nigeria be in the next 50 years? This didactic approach, while occasionally heavy-handed, reinforces the book's purpose as a call to action rather than mere historical accounts. We must also acknowledge another striking aspect of the book, and that is its occasional flashes of humor and irony. The author is not above employing wit to drive home his point, sometimes at his own expense. At one point he notes, "It is said that history repeats itself first as tragedy, then as farce. In Nigeria, we seem to have perfected the art of skipping the tragedy and going straight to the farce. These moments of levity provide relief in what is otherwise a serious and often sobering discussion." In summary, the tone of Nigerian Past and Future is that of a seasoned statesman who has seen it all, hope, failure, resurgence, and who now wishes to leave behind a set of reflections that might guide the nation forward. It is at once a lament, a critique, a warning, and an appeal. The author's voice is that of an elder who has chosen, in the twilight of his life, to lay bare his thoughts in the hope that they will spark meaningful discourse. Whether one agrees with his conclusions or not, the sincerity of his engagement with Nigeria's past and our future is undeniable. So how is this relevant to what are the bigger arguments in Nigeria past and future? In this book, the author does not merely diagnose the country's ailments. He attempts to chart a path forward. His vision for Nigeria's future is built on a foundation of reforms that he argues must be bold, inclusive, and sustained if the nation is to realize its full potential. A key pillar of his proposed vision is institutional reform. He argues that Nigeria's political and economic institutions must be restructured to function effectively, stating a nation's progress is not determined by the brilliance of its individuals, but by the strength of its institutions. Chapter 20, page 295. He calls for judicial independence, a depoliticized civil service, and a transparent electoral system that prioritizes competence over political patronage. President Obasanjo emphasizes the need for a new economic framework, one that moves Nigeria beyond its dependence on oil revenues and towards a diversified economy rooted in industrialization, agriculture, and technology. He acknowledges the efforts of countries like Malaysia and South Korea, which, despite having fewer natural resources, have managed to create thriving economies through strategic investments in manufacturing and human capital. The author insists in this book, Nigeria must cease to be a country that exports crude oil only to import refined petroleum. This is a microcosm of a larger failure to add value to our resources. Education, youth empowerment, and leadership feature prominently in his roadmap for the future, leadership recruitment, pardon me. He stresses that no meaningful progress can be made without a well-educated and skilled population. He criticizes the neglect of the education sector, describing it as a national crisis that has been ignored for too long. He calls for increased investment in technical education, vocational training, and ensuring that young Nigerians are equipped with skills relevant to the 21st century. On governance, which we're all interested in, he makes the case for decentralization, arguing that Nigeria's over-centralized federal structure has stifled innovation at the state and local government levels. He proposes a model, which you will see when you pick up the book, where states have greater autonomy over resource management and development priorities, writing, a federation in which all decisions are made in Abuja is not a true federation. Power must devolve to the people closer to their communities. Now, about the one that I'm really excited, of course, is the superficial, the book's cover. The cover of Nigeria Past and Future embraces simplicity and symbolism. It avoids unnecessary embellishments and allows the book's core message to take center stage. Presented in a color scheme of gray, white, green, and gold and silver, the colors create a balance between neutrality, national identity, and prestige. In conclusion, Nigeria's Past and Future is not a book that offers easy answers. It is not a manifesto, nor is it a list of policy prescriptions. It is instead a provocation, a book that forces its readers to confront uncomfortable truths about Nigeria's past and ask pressing questions about its future. President Obasanjo's reflections serve as both a warning and a challenge. He does not write as a detached observer, but as a man who has been at the center of Nigeria's history and who now, in the twilight of his years, seeks to shape the discourse on what comes next. His arguments, whether one agrees with them or not, demand engagement. They challenge us to move beyond cynicism and embrace the hard work of reform and nation building. This book is not just a chronicle of what has gone wrong. It is a call to arms for those who still believe in Nigeria's promise. The question it leaves us with is simple. Will we continue to lament or will we take action? And so, as I conclude this review, I must return to where I began. Some might say that as both publisher and reviewer, I have played the role of both judge and jury. But if President Obasanjo has taught us anything in this book, it is that Nigeria has always been filled with contradictions, and yet we must navigate them with honesty. If reviewing my own publication is a conflict of interest, then perhaps it is only fitting after all. Nigeria itself is a nation where history is both written and judged by its own players. Thank you very much.
Governor Amosu and the rest, but we will have to adjust a little bit because a member of the high table has a flight to catch, and he is somebody that is very, very dear to my heart because he owns a university, maybe two. That's Senator Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, a great educational investor, Base University. I've been there a couple of times and I can see class, I can see quality. So he has a flight to catch. May I ask you, sir, to please come and, no, you can come like this. Okay, anyhow you want to make it. To Baba Ahmed.
Chairman of the occasion, sir, our dear President Olusegun Obasanjo, Your Excellencies, Your Highnesses, Your Majesties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please, let's set aside the fact that I'm one of Baba's boys. The truth is that every Nigerian academic, to every Nigerian academic, is a duty to take Baba for what he is. I mean, as a nation, how so amazing is it that our dear president retired into the academia? How unique have we been made? Baba, thank you for coming into our area. Baba's academic works are making some of us academics look rather lazy. With due respect to all of us, but he has taken upon himself a noble objective which must be followed, emulated, promoted by all of us in this. It has been said in due course that we must forgive, we must not forget. It is even more correct to say that we must continue to remember. What Baba is doing is telling us to continue to remember. And Baba, we shall continue to be with you on this. I have been saying it again that if Baba did not and does not forgive, Nigeria would have been fighting itself. So again, Baba, may you be blessed for the kind of heart that Almighty God has given you. Forgiveness is strength, and Baba has strength to forgive. I would like to say that we've been hearing accident of history. The occurrence of Baba, the history of Baba is what I humbly beg to call the providence of history. Because his books motivate us to teach. His books, his writings, his activities beyond Nigeria, beyond Africa, continue to remain an inspiration to bring about the right changes. Baba, I am proud to be associated. I am proud to be a son. I am proud to own the books written by you, Baba. I won't say much more than this, otherwise I get consumed. But I will now take the privilege to buy the books as follows. 1 copy of each of the book for Bayes University at 10 million naira. And then 1 copy again for each of the books for Baba Ahmed University in Kano for 5 million naira. Baba, thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to be here and share this great moment with you, and I thank you very much. To recognize my boss, who came in swiftly, His Excellency Governor Peter Obi. In fact, in my speech, I should have added, any Nigerian politician, without diminishing my boss, any Nigerian politician that has half the will of Baba can never be rigged out. Thank you.
Leaders feasting while we lose. Children starving. Streets run dry. Yet they smile and tell us lies.
Bandit strikes. The village burns. Justice sleeps while power turns. Fear now walks where peace once stood. And leaders says, we've done all we could.
Out for school children. Millions on thoughts. A future fading. Dream distraught. Yet ministers be mansion tall. Why knowledge crumbles? Doomed to fall.
Brothers divided, tribes at war. Bigotry knocking on every door. Religions twisted, hate runs free. Yet we claim we are one in unity.
Who caused us so? Who set this fire? Who led us down this road of mine? Before the white men, we were free. They broke our back, stole lands and sea.
True. They came with chains and greed, planted the poison, sowed the seeds. Yet years have passed, the chains are gone. Why do we still let them lead us on?
They build the wall, they drew the line, turned kings to beggar with silver sign. Had they not come, had we been war, perhaps we would still have kept control.
Yes, they broke us, left a scar. But must we now still blame them for? If we must know where it began, let's walk through time and see firsthand.
I wish we could, to see, to learn, to watch the past, and then return. If only.
If only. If only.
The ground feels old.
Wait! The streets, the people, see, their robes, their tongues, their dignities. No cars, no guns, no foreign laws. Is this the past? Could this be so?
Our wish was granted. Time what came? Don't stand so far, so long. A land where justice is the song. The elders rule, the people trade. No foreign, no dues with slaves.
The scholars write, the warriors guard. Our gold is ours, our gold is ours. The land was ours to own until we thrived on courage, strength, and will.
See how they smile when hands exchange. Our freedom lost for foreign exchange.
And see our own, how quick they turn, selling their brothers just to earn. The white man ruled but not alone. Our own betrayed us for a throne.
Freedom at last. We claim our land. No master chain, no foreign hand.
But leaders fought, their greed took hold. Our joy was brief, the dreams grew cold.
We will end corruption, they boldly say, yet in their pockets, the bribes still stay.
They jailed the thieves, then took their place, and ruled with iron, none to face.
Obasanjo, a soldier bold, yet wise to know that guns and chains must lose their glow. He paved the way for both to speak, for tyrants all to grow so weak.
He raised the flag, returned the voice, gave back to the people their own choice. Debt relief, economy strong, banking reformed, he moved us on. He moved us on. A great president.
President Olusegun Obasanjo. The past is heavy, that much is true, but must it shape the things we do? If we remain in this chain, then all we have lost was lost in vain.
No more excuses, no more blames. The future must not be the same, for yesterday's future is here today, and what comes next is ours to lay.
The youth are not the leaders of tomorrow.
They are the leaders of today. Tomorrow starts now.
Technology, health, and schools to build a nation's strength in mind fulfilled.
No more greed, no more selfish reign. The future must not be the same. A future shaped without the stain. We rise today, our hands in place to shape tomorrow. It starts today. Thank you.
Many thanks indeed for that exciting drama.
Highnesses, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Baba, my own Baba, many happy returns of today in good health and continuous God's blessings. I'm sure many will be wondering why I call him my own Baba. Some 64 years ago, precisely in the year 1961, unknown to me and unknown to Baba, our paths crossed each other. When the vicissitude of life came calling, and I became an orphan at 9. A senior brother who was working in Abeokuta here, the DO's office, decided to bring me down for me to continue my education. He registered me at the Imam Primary School. While in Imam Primary School, a detachment of Nigerian troops returned from the Congo in the year 1961. They did a flag march from Lafenwa up to Imam, and I saw the march past. And there and then, at the age of 10, I decided that if I ever grow up, that will be the job I will do. I got to know that our ways cross each other. There was a day as governor of Osun State. I was riding in the same vehicle with Baba, and we passed through the front of the radio house, very close to Shakwan. So I told Baba, I said, this is where I decided when I was 10, that I will, if I ever grow, I will go into the army. That the troops returned from the Congo, and that was when Baba said that was his battalion, and he was on that parade. Another encounter with Baba, how he became my Baba. 99, Baba ordered me to ground arms. In simple terms, that I am retired, when I was not tired at all. The reason being that I was one of those 93 that tasted the forbidden fruit. It pained me because this is the termination of a profession I decided to go for at the age of 10. Then came the year 2003. The same man that marched me out of the army marched me again before the entire royal fathers of Osun State and declared, "This is my beloved son whom I want to be the governor of the state." And so it happened. Another incident that makes him my Baba, my own Baba. During my 70th birthday, which occurred some 4 years ago, in his tribute, after a lengthy statement that eulogized me to high heavens, he declared at the end of that tribute that he is proud to make me a member of his family. And named me as his own Arole. It is said that you don't know the importance of the buttocks until you are struck with boil on both halves. What Governor Amosu experienced that made him become emotional happened to me too in China. I followed Baba on one long trip that took us to China, Vietnam, Egypt. I had to drop out when he says we are going to Indonesia again. While in Egypt, I think it was African Union meeting. Mubarak was still the president there, and Baba was the chairman of AU. At a stage, Baba excused himself and said, yes, he want to make use of the restroom. So you, Mubarak, continue the meeting while I ease myself. As soon as Baba stepped out of the hall, Mubarak got up and said, look, I will advise you that you take a break too, so that we can continue when he returns. That was the day I felt so disturbed. That saying that you never realize the importance of buttocks until you are struck with boils. Baba, we are indeed grateful for your service to humanity, and we continue to pray for you that the good Lord will continue to strengthen you, that you can do more for the rest of your life. Àwọn Yorùbá máa ń gbàdúrà, wọ́n á ní jẹ́ kí a fi àrà sínú kú. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àrà ló ṣì wà nù bàbá. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kẹ́kú pẹ̀lú àrà o. Ẹ kú gbogbo ẹ̀ fún akátó lọ. Thanks so much. God bless you.
The chairman of this occasion, the executive governor of Osun State, Baba Ademola Adeleke, I'm still in the mood of thanking you. Baba mi like bí Baba Oyin ṣe sọ pé my own Baba, Baba mi yàtọ̀ sí my own Baba. Baba mi, because everyone have been talking about the executive governors, post-past and present here, distinguished people, the former ambassador to Britain, because at some point I'm going to talk about Britain. Mami Onikepo, Kábíyèsí, àwọn ọ̀gbẹ́ Kábíyèsí Aláké and Kábíyèsí Olóka, Kábíyèsí lẹ́yìn bẹ́ẹ̀ máa bá ní kí gbogbo wọn Kábíyèsí yòókù. Bàámi, my own story is different and special, and that is why you are Bàámi. Let me tell you, every other person call you Baba Ebora of Owu, some say Baba of Africa. I personally, Abimbola Esther Ajayi, call you Baba of the world. Bàámi, that is Bàámi. I tell you, the former ambassador of Britain is here. He will understand when I say I was an overstayer at the United Kingdom. And then Bàámi came into my life. He wrote letter to the then Prime Minister of United Kingdom. It was Theresa May. Excuse me. When he wrote that letter, he was talking about me being an overstayer. And I want my document. My church started in the United Kingdom. Within 48 hours, never seen that before in my life. Theresa May replied. Not only did she reply, she said urgently, I still have the copy of the letter, that urgently, excuse me, that is the Prime Minister of United Kingdom. And you know that, Bàámi Sharafa. And then that urgently they will look into the matter. Not only that I could get back to United Kingdom anytime I feel like, that I could raise my head. Bàámi, the people here listening to my voice, I want you to say a big, massive thank you to Bàámi. Mo bẹ̀ yín nìyẹn ní ẹjọ́. Mo wá ń dúpẹ́ lójú. It's not about a war of the world. And eventually, I invited them to United Kingdom. Bàámi came. To United States of America, Bàámi came. To Tafawa Balewa Square, Bàámi was there. To Abuja, Bàámi was there. Màámi Ọbásanjọ́ ojú òní tì. Màmá Bọ́lá Ọbásanjọ́ ìtẹ́jú tẹ̀ ń tọ́jú tó bá ṣe lórí nǹkan tí fẹ́ dúpẹ́ fún. Ẹ máa continue dúpẹ́. Mo mọṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe o. Mo mọ Bàámi gan. So mo mọṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe. Ipe ẹkúṣẹ́ Bàámi. Ọlọ́run máa fi síbẹ̀ forever and ever. Ẹ ní kú láéláé. Happy 88 birthday. Tẹ́ bá máa 90. Ẹ jẹ́ ká má sọ̀rọ̀ ti ẹ̀yìn tó ń sọ ti ọjà ẹ̀fọ́ yẹn. A máa wà ń bí. 100 a máa wà ń bí. 110 nítorí tèmi Ọlọ́run máa fi yín síbẹ̀ fún wa. 120 ẹ máa wà ń bí. Happy birthday sir. Mo dúpẹ́. Thank you so much.
Spiritual and temporal. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to adopt the existing protocols. I extend warm greetings on behalf of His Excellency Prince Dapo Abiodun CON, the Governor of Ogun State, on this special occasion celebrating an extraordinary statesman, the former President of Nigeria, and an illustrious son of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCF, on his 88th birthday. His Excellency is unavoidably absent this morning, but will join the celebrations later in the day. Baba Obasanjo, who is also fondly referred to as Baba of Africa, is a towering figure in our national history. A man whose life has been defined by courage and an unrelenting commitment to the progress of Nigeria and Africa. As a soldier, head of state, and democratically elected president, he has shaped the course of our nation's political and economic trajectory with remarkable vision and leadership. Even in retirement, he remains one of the most influential voices in Africa, lending his wisdom to matters of governance, diplomacy, and development. Beyond Nigeria, Baba is a true Pan-Africanist. His work in promoting peace across the continent, his role in strengthening regional cooperation, and his deep engagement in global affairs demonstrate his belief that Africa must take charge of its own destiny. He has consistently advocated for African unity, economic self-reliance, and good governance, leaving a lasting impact on the continent. At 88, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo continues to be a leader of thought, a man whose words carry weight and whose actions inspire generations. His voice remains critical in shaping policies and discussions that define our future, and we are grateful for his continued contributions to nation building. On this occasion, as we celebrate his remarkable journey with a thought-provoking lecture by Professor Ehosa Osage, and the launch of 2 important books, one which he edited and one which he authored, they reflect his wealth of experience and speak to his concerns about where we are as a continent and his hopes for the future. We pray that Almighty God grants Baba long life, continued good health, and sound mind. I recall that at Baba's 85th, we played a novelty match, a novelty 5-a-side match. Baba was on the opposing team, and he ran rings around me. My feet barely touched the ball. And I had to play the gender card. Baba, eche suru fobiri. He replied, Kosi MBU. We thank God for Baba's good health. In fact, not wanting Baba to show me up again, I had planned that if there was a novelty match for this year, I will use Ramadan as an excuse to get out of it. May Baba remain strong, active, and ever purposeful in guiding the next generation of leaders. Once again, happy birthday, sir. May your legacy continue to shine brightly across Nigeria, Africa, and indeed the world. Baba, ẹ kú ọdún ẹni sà. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí àgbà yín kí ó dògbó. Ẹ̀mí á ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún. Ìgbà ọdún kan ni sà. Thank you.
Thank you. We would like all the chairman and all this to just hold a copy of the book so that we will take a copy each of the 2 books so we can take a photograph. The cameramen have swarmed. Yeah, it's not Nigerian anything, no. It's global. Don't say global. Don't say Nigeria. Where you don't go? I don't go everywhere. They check you. Walking there, sitting. Yeah. All right, photographers, do what you know how to do best. Take nice shots. Yes, thank you. We are moving to the right and to the cake. Daddy, you are moving to the right there for the cake, sir. Yes, members of the Board of Trustees of OPLF are going to join in this. Members of the Board of Trustees. Members of the Board of Trustees of OPLF, kindly be part of this. All right, let's have we're going to call the game now. So lower that. We're going to 7, 6 to 1 and 0.
At this juncture, all I want to do is to give thanks, because over the past 4.5 hours or thereabout that we have been here, a lot has been said, a lot has been done, and all that remains is for me to thank God Almighty in the first place that made this day possible as a day that He has made, and that we should rejoice and be glad in it. And we are here for occasion of having joy and expressing our appreciation among ourselves and our appreciation to God. And I thank God Almighty for that opportunity. Let me then start thanking those who have been directly responsible for the events of today, and we are only halfway through. And those who are indirectly responsible. Let me start with Professor Kebukola. He has the what do you call it? The authority for planning, arranging, and executing my birthday program. He's taken it upon himself for many years now, and he has never failed to do it well. Peter, I thank you most sincerely.
We thank God, sir. Thank you, sir.
What you have been doing.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Baba.
of the world.
Then let me thank the lecturer, Professor Sagi. I don't know those of you who are here to listen to the lecture. It is a first-class lecture. And he delivered it live away. He did not look at any book, no script. Well, Professor Kebukola,
yes, sir.
What I will ask you to help us tell him,
yes, sir,
is that some of us will want to have copies of that beautiful lecture.
Yeah, we already have it, sir.
If you have it,
yes, sir,
some of us will like it to get into our hands.
Of course, sir.
But when you then look, and I hope may we buy the books and read them, when you take the lecture and the book on slavery, slave trade, colonialism, reparation, neo-colonialism and all that, and then Nigeria past and future, you will see how the three come together. The lecturer made us to realize that part of our problem is what I may call the residue of slavery, slave trade, and colonialism. And until we can break ourselves completely out of it, we may not be able to make as much progress as we should. Decarbonization and decolonialization, in many ways, as he rightly put it, and as one of the commentators on the lecture said, maybe we have to even look at decolonization of our names. And that brings me to a traditioner who wants to continue to rename me Matthew. Well, I have no problem with his evangelical mission of who Matthew was as a disciple of Jesus Christ. But he was a tax collector. Now, we have Peter, who was a disciple. Even though he denied Jesus, he was forgiven, and he became the rock. We have John. Me, the name Matthew, I don't fancy it. And I said, it was like my father and my mother, I don't know why they decided on Matthew. They didn't name me Peter. They didn't name me John. They didn't name me Samuel. They didn't name me Moses. They didn't. Those are beautiful names. Not even Joseph. So, Akadeshina can keep his Matthew. I will keep my Olusegun, Okikiola, Aremu, Obasanjo. If you remember, he concluded his goodwill message by saying he wants to be 48 and want to reduce his wife to 52. I tell you that story. When I got him here from Nairobi to become Minister of Agriculture, at the request of President Jonathan, because he was the one who said to me, I want somebody who would do agriculture well. And I said, well, look, of the ones that I know, this is one. So when he came, President Jonathan changed his mind and decided that the Ministry of Agriculture has been zoned to the north. So when I was told, and that he will become Minister of State. So when I was told, I called him, I said, go back to where you came from, immediately. Because as Minister of State, you will not be able to do anything. So he went back to Nairobi, where he came from. And two people that I know in the government at that time, or who are coming into government, went to President Jonathan and said, look, if you want agriculture to be taken care of, that man, you must have him back. So President Jonathan called me again and said, look, can you help me get that man back? I said, I don't know. So I phoned him and he said, oh, it's no longer in my hand. It's now in the hand of my wife. And I haven't met his wife before. So I say, is your wife black or white? Oh, he said, you don't know my wife. Is the daughter of your previous Director of Agriculture. I said, so he must be a black woman. He said, yes. He said, it's Yemisi. Oh, I said, okay. Can I talk to her? And then I talked to Yemisi for about 30 minutes. Yemisi started, he said, oh, sir, you know our problem, particularly those of us from that part of the country. Today they will say we are not northerner, we are this and that. Home front is clear. Come. And he became Minister of Agriculture. Then one day he came to me and said, this presidency of the African Development Bank, I said, but you are an agriculture man. He said, but I did agriculture. I didn't know that you did agriculture. In that case, you are interested? He said, yes. Okay, yeah. So we started. The first thing was, he was nominated by President Jonathan. And by the time the campaign started, President Buhari has taken over. So we have to carry President Buhari on board. And The long and short is that he became the president. So when he became the president, he wanted to make Jenga one day. I said, hey, you can't make Jenga. Because if the night I spoke to Yemisi did not agree, there would be nothing we could do. And you will not be able to come back to be Minister of Agriculture. And if you are not Minister of Agriculture, this position you are now, as rightly said, will not be possible. Therefore, your contribution is 45. So you are acting 45. And Yemisi is Yemisi 45. So since that time, he has been begging me to increase this figure from 45. And that's what he was referring to, that he wants to be at 48 and reduce Yemisi to Yemisi 52, which I have not done. And of course, you had Dr. Rama as President and Chief Executive of African Bank. A very good camp, doing a very good job. There have been 3 chief executives of African Bank. The first person was in Nigeria. The second one was Anatolia. And the third one is the Nigerian Ram. And how did that happen? When African Bank was established through the Africa Development Bank, Egypt lobbied for the location in Cairo on the ground that he will never lobby for the chief executive. And then after the Nigerian left Cairo, Egypt started lobbying for chief executive of the bank. And everybody was about to agree, and I said, no, but this was not the town that you got, the headquarters. So I refused. And because I refused, they refused for 5 years to give the man who was elected as the chief executive of African Bank, to give him this. So for 5 years, he was running African Bank from the Hilton Hotel for 5 years. But one person held the fort firmly, loyally, and very, very committedly was Rama. And then when Ekram finished his term, he said, well, the only thing that he believed he should do is to ensure that for Rama's loyalty, commitment, devotion, and everything, he should live. And Rama has actually built that institution. In all this, I will know that, or maybe I should say, they make me whatever they want to make me, honorary ambassador, whatever. For me to be able to open doors for them wherever they want to go. Rama makes me that is sending a message to me that he's hungry. I should go get it. How to feel who came up? He and I have been together for almost 50 years. And he said he knew my age. I am 90. Don't believe him. You believe what my mother said. Honor before my birthday.
Hello and welcome to Biscon Television News Today. I'm Stella Opara, and coming up in the news, Laolu Akonde accuses Senate of ganging up against Senator Natasha. Obasanjo marks 88th birthday with grand celebration in Ubon. In business news, maritime stakeholders back reintroduction of global cargo tracking. On foreign scene, Trump issues last warning to Hamas as U.S. confirms direct hostage talks. And in sports, 2026 World Cup final to have Super Bowl-style show, says Infantino. Now the news in full. Former presidential spokesman Laolu Akonde on Thursday raised concern over what he claims are attempts to silence the lawmaker representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Akpoti-Uduaghan recently accused the Senate President Godswill Akpabio of sexually harassing her, a claim the latter has vehemently denied. Weighing in on the issue during an interview, Akonde urged the Senate to stop what he described as gang-up against the lawmaker. He stated that the leadership of the Senate needs to show that there is going to be a dispassionate consideration of her allegations. According to him, Senator Natasha has said to the whole world that she has been sexually harassed. Hence, Nigerians have to be careful, and the Nigerian Senate has to be more careful not to create an impression of trying to silence her. He further noted, and I quote, "What we have been seeing so far is a lot of men holding meetings, speaking out, coming to the media to run this woman down. It is a poor reflection on the Nigerian Senate." End of quote. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo's 80th birthday was marked on Wednesday, March 5, 2025, with a series of events at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Ogun State. The celebration brought together political leaders, scholars and dignitaries from across Nigeria and beyond to honor the statesman's enduring legacy. The highlight of the event was a lecture titled Echoes of the Past, Visions of the Future, Reflections on Slavery, Colonization, and Nigeria's Journey Towards a Promising Future.
The issue of states and nation. Africa do not have states, but we have nations. And the nations are so many, hundreds of thousands of them. If Europe is able to do nation states, the Belgians, they have a country Belgium. French, they have France. English, they have England. Why can't we have, as part of our decolonization process, which is what the speaker said, Africanize and indigenize all concept that we see outside? It's a process. We will get there, very certainly. Thank you very much.
We cannot continue to be slaves. We cannot continue to dwell in the past. However, it is important for us once in a while to go back to what happened to us in the past. The Bible says that the Israelites should tell their children what they went through in the land of Israel, and repeatedly mentioned it. Teach your children what happened to you. The fact that we don't teach history in our schools compulsorily is a very bad thing. It is necessary that we teach history so that our children will know where we are coming from and decide on where they are going to go to.
The occasion also featured the unveiling of 2 books, Lest We Forget, Slave Trade, Emancipation and Reparation, authored by former Jamaican Prime Minister P.J. Patterson and edited by Obasanjo, and Nigeria, Past and the Future, written by Obasanjo. Distinguished guests, including former governors, top government officials, and global leaders, delivered goodwill messages, lauding Obasanjo's contributions to governance, diplomacy, and nation building.
Baba's academic works are making some of us academics look rather lazy, with due respect to all of us. But he has taken upon himself a noble objective which must be followed, emulated, promoted by all of us in this. It has been said in due course that we must forgive, we must not forget. It is even more correct to say that we must continue to remember. What Baba is doing is telling us to continue to remember. And Baba, we shall continue to be with you on this.
Baba, we are indeed grateful for your service to humanity, and we continue to pray for you that the good Lord will continue to strengthen you, that you can do more for the rest of your life. Àwọn Yorùbá máa ń gbàdúrà. Wọ́n á ní jẹ́ kí a fi àrà sínú kú. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àrà ló ṣì wà nù bàbá. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kẹ́ kú pẹ̀lú àrà o. Ẹ kú gbogbo ẹ̀ fún akátó lọ. Thanks so much. God bless you. Baba, the Almighty Lord will continue to strengthen you. Yes, everybody is here. We said, Baba, we are celebrating 88. But I know, and Baba is somebody that what you see is what you get. No pretension about it. Baba said even his birthday, he doesn't even know the exact day or the time. All he knew was that Ijo Jaifo. So, and I know that it is truly Ijo Jaifo. The only thing we pray for you is that what you love doing, that thing that you love doing, going around creating peace, looking for peace everywhere in the world, we pray for you to continue to do it. Because I know Baba will do this till his breath is last. So we can't stop you. That's your wahala, that's your trouble. Continue to do it. I thank you because Baba is at ease with kings, with presidents, with queens, but he has more ease with his village people. And that is what I like about Baba. Baba tells us what to do. So Baba, of all the things they've given you, the one that I know you like most, and all of us love, is Ebora Owu. Congratulations.
He has consistently advocated for African unity, economic self-reliance, and good governance, leaving a lasting impact on the continent. At 88, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo continues to be a leader of thought, a man whose words carry weight and whose actions inspire generations. His voice remains critical in shaping policies and discussions that define our future, and we are grateful for his continued contributions to nation building. Baba, ẹ kú ọdún ìní sà. Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí àgbà yín kí ó dògbó. Ẹ̀mí á ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọdún. Ìgbà ọdún kan ni sà. Thank you.
In his remarks, Obasanjo expressed gratitude to God and all attendees, reiterating the need for Africa to break free from colonial legacies and forge a prosperous future.
A lot have been said, a lot have been done. And all that remains is for me to thank God Almighty in the first place that made this day possible as a day that He has made, and that we should rejoice and be glad in it. And we are here for occasion of having joy and expressing our appreciation among ourselves and our appreciation to God. And I thank God Almighty for that opportunity.
In another development, Adamawa State Governor Amadou Umaru Fintiri on Wednesday, March 5, 2025, visited Bayelsa State to inaugurate major infrastructural projects as part of activities marking Governor Doye Diri's 5th anniversary in office. Governor Fintiri commissioned the newly constructed Commissioner's Quarters, a modern residential facility for government officials, and a dual carriageway Road 1 in New Yenagoa City, aimed at enhancing connectivity and economic activities in the state capital. Governor Diri, while welcoming his counterpart, described his presence as a symbol of national unity and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to improving public service welfare.
And now we have resumed the commissioning of projects. And as you can see today, these two projects were to be commissioned by different governors at different dates. But because of the way we have disrupted our timetable, we now felt that this lion from Adamawa can take the two of them. And so today is very instructive. We are commissioning Road 1 of the new Yenagoa City, a dual carriage road. And we are also inaugurating the newly built Commissioner's Residential Quarters. Your Excellency, my dear brother, if we were to commission this road in the night, you would appreciate the beauty of this place. And like I keep saying, we give the glory to God. Do we have the resources? The answer may be no. But by the grace of God, He has provided the resources.
In his remarks, Governor Fintiri commended Diri's leadership and emphasized the importance of infrastructure in driving economic growth and urban development.
Indeed, delighted to be here on the invitation of my friend and brother, His Excellency Governor Doye Diri. Doye Diri is a colleague, a friend, and now a brother. Doye Diri has no doubt itched a name for himself as the governor who is performing wonders for Bayelsa State, and more fundamentally, cultivated special friendship across the country and a fraternal bond within our solid PDP family. It is therefore with honor that I received the invitation to come to Bayelsa from this budding friend who has come to symbolize everything good that our great party, the PDP, means to the people and the country. This dual carriage road 1, New Yenagoa City, is initiated and constructed by the prosperity government of His Excellency Governor Adamawa State. On this day, Wednesday, the 5th of March 2025, to the glory of Almighty God.
Amen.
I people goodness, this Commissioner's Quarters was initiated and completed by the government of His Excellency Senator Doye Diri.
The event was attended by top government officials, PDP leaders, and community representatives, reflecting a shared commitment to regional progress. You're watching Biscon TV News. Business news comes up next. Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to business news. Maritime stakeholders have backed the reintroduction of the International Cargo Tracking Node, ICTN, at Nigerian ports. The stakeholders who spoke at a recent event organized by the Maritime Reporters Association of Nigeria in Apapa noted that the move marks a pivotal moment for the nation's maritime sector. They underscored the strategic importance of enhancing transparency, reducing illicit trade, and improving Nigeria's position in global maritime trade. Some opined that the Nigerian Shippers Council should be well empowered to facilitate the process. Speaking during the event, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Dr. Pius Akota, emphasized that the ICTN is not a new initiative to the Nigerian Shippers Council. Represented at the event by the Director of Consumer Affairs at the Council, Celestine Akujobi, the Executive Secretary explained that the Council had successfully managed it in the past before it was suspended. Akuta reaffirmed that the agency is fully prepared to execute the system efficiently, ensuring it benefits shippers, the government, and the entire economy. We'll take another short break, and when we return, we'll bring you foreign news. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now to foreign news. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued what he called a last warning to Hamas to release the hostages being held in Gaza. I am sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job. Not a single Hamas member will be safe if you don't do as I say, Trump said in a lengthy post on his Truth Social platform. Hamas accused the U.S. president of encouraging Israel to break the ceasefire deal currently in effect between the two sides. Trump's statement came just hours after the White House confirmed it was holding direct talks with Hamas over the remaining hostages. Washington has until now avoided direct engagement with the group, and there is a long-standing U.S. policy against having direct contact with entities at least as terrorist organizations. The post came after Trump met with a group of hostages in the White House who had been recently released under the ceasefire. Meanwhile, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed the U.S. has been negotiating directly with Hamas to try to secure the release of the hostages. President Trump believed in doing what was in the best interest of the American people, Leavitt told reporters. We're due for another short break, and when we return, we'll bring you sports news. Welcome back. Now to sports news. The 2026 World Cup final in New Jersey will make history by having a Super Bowl-style halftime show, World Football Chief Gianni Infantino said on Wednesday. Coldplay band members Chris Martin and Phil Harvey will determine the artist who will perform, FIFA President Infantino said. I can confirm the first ever halftime show at a FIFA World Cup final in New York and New Jersey, Infantino wrote on Instagram. This will be a historic moment for the FIFA World Cup and a show befitting the biggest sports event in the world. Infantino revealed the decision following a meeting of FIFA's commercial and media partners in Dallas ahead of the 2026 tournament, which will be co-hosted in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Infantino added that FIFA also planned to take over New York's Times Square on the final weekend of the tournament. So watching Biscon Television News. The news continues shortly. Welcome back. Now to entertainment news. Popular Nigerian socialite Amma Reginald has responded to the ongoing controversy surrounding her, Sophia Igweje, and Grammy-winning artist Burna Boy. The drama escalated after an alleged leaked audio surfaced in which Sophia, who is friends with Amma, expressed her disappointment that Amma did not intervene in her situation with Burna Boy. Sophia reportedly claimed that she had an intimate encounter with the singer who promised to buy her a Lamborghini but failed to fulfill his pledge. Amid the controversy, Amma Reginald took to Instagram, sharing stunning pictures of herself in a white dress alongside a reflective caption. She emphasized her commitment to truth and resilience despite the challenges she faced. Her statement has since sparked mixed reactions online, with some fans praising her composure, while others continue to speculate on the unfolding situation. And that's the news for now on Biscon Television. Now the last line. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for watching.
Don't believe what my mother said. Honor before market day. And Kabis, Alake was born on the market day. And he is around. And nobody will change that. Every market day is your birthday. Every market day is your I want to just say one or two comments on the two books. First, the lecturer wrote it vividly, wrote it out vividly, while we should not forget slavery and slave trade. Whether it's transatlantic or trans-Saharan, they had the same effect on us. And he made one strongly that if we forget, not only will we continue to suffer from the effect of what he called not an episode, but an epoch. But not only that, we will be re-enslaved again. We haven't come out of the one that we have suffered more than standing about 2 centuries. And then Nigeria power and future. It is for all to see where we have without any exception, as a group. And then if there are a way out. And if there is a way out, what is the way out? And if we know the way out, how do we get there? And what should we do? But for me, I am an incurable optimist about Nigeria. Yes, the situation is bad, no doubt. But I believe that in my lifetime, we will have Nigeria that will be all. I want to thank all those who have given goodwill and made comment. I appreciate you all. celebrate that 90 and 100 with all of you. Those of you who have not reached 80, that you cannot be called octogenarian yet, you will, by the grace of God, reach 80. But let us bear in mind that as Nigerians, there's duty, obligation for us. And if we do it well, we will have an enviable Nigeria. An enviable Nigeria in our lifetime. Thank you.
Wọ́n fẹ́ kó rí kíjà fún. Ọmọ adúrún bá dé sẹ́ńtúndò. Ìjẹ̀bú ọmọ adúrún mọ̀sùn pẹ̀dìyẹ jẹ. Ọmọ aládìyẹ ògògò mànìgà tí fẹ́yìn ẹ̀yẹ bí àwọ̀ kéńgbé. Ọmọ oníbodè mẹ́ta àfàdòdì sọ. Ogun àjòjò gbọ́dọ̀ jálè bàbá tó bí yín lọ́mọ. Ẹ̀yin lọ́mọ ní nǹkan ìwé onílé. Òyìnbó ń lówó. Bàbá yín lówó, àmọ́ òyìnbó lóògùn, bàbá yín lóògùn, wọ́n ní kébí wọ́n lẹ́ẹ̀ta wọ́n lẹ́ẹ̀fìlẹ̀ àná sí wọ́n sì lóògùn. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí tó ń fọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú ṣe é, ìran Ìjẹ̀bú ní náà ó sì lè ké èkó tó dé, kó tó dòwó ẹ̀rú, kó tó dòwó hànà. Wọ́n lè pè é dàjẹ̀bú, mo ní kẹ̀kẹ́ pé pè é dàjẹ̀bú, bàbá yín, aṣọ wọn dúdú, àmọ́ àdẹ́bí ìgò ọ̀rọ̀ sí. Ọmọ ìpè mẹ́ta mi tó wà síbi lọ́wọ́ mi tó bí lọ́wọ́ Ìjẹ̀bú àmì iye ní ìwà.
It's open to people with small businesses, but who are not able to access loans. So Baba just one day decided that he was ready to give a loan at 9% interest rate 1 million and below. That means if the Youth Development Center, if Olusegun Obasanjo Credit Scheme gives you a loan of 1 million, in a year you will pay back 1,090,000, which is very, very unbeatable. In fact, when Providence Bank heard about this scheme, they jumped on board because Baba alone had been carrying the burden for some 3 years. So Providence Bank now says, no, we can't let Baba be doing everything. If he's taking care of the high and mighty, can we be allowed to please help with the grassroots? So last year we had some donations from Providence Bank. We are still expecting them this year. We hope they will show up. So far, as I said, we have 20 beneficiaries, and which means that that translates to nothing less than 18 million or thereabout. But we are happy to report, Baba, that they've been paying back. So we still have a little money in the kitty for things to go around. That's trained in business planning, trained. Okay, sir. Trained in how to manage your businesses. And at the end of the day, this year, 47 persons were trained. But so far, only 3 persons have completed their documentation. With great honor, sir, please, the Excellency Governor of Osun State, Governor Adeleke, sir. Please, can you please call the attention of the governor for me, sir? Yes, sir. Baba said we should do the presentation to one of the beneficiaries. While Governor Adeleke is at it, could I call on Governor Peter Obi to please get ready? You do the presentation of another 1 million naira check, and Iyadura will do the third presentation of 500,000. So can we have beside me here Fisayo Otubusi, instant food specialist? Yes, yes, sir. Or do they go to him up? Dr. Peter Obi. Thank you, Your Excellency. Ajola, we wish you well. Lórúkọ Jésù olè òní gbogbo yẹn lọ o. And you will do wonders with it in Jesus' name. Presentation for us. Iyade Moyosola outfit is called Super Treat Concept. She's into cake baking and catering services. All about food. Thank you, Yadrama.
We are going to spell Jesus Christ. So we're only going to do Jesus. J-E-S-U and an S. Jesus Christ.
with light, where knowledge, trade, and art flourished. Our people lived by traditions, songs that carried history, proverbs that guided wisdom. The gods walked among us. Then the wings of change blew. Strangers came, not to trade but to take. They called it discovery, but we called it loss. Our land were divided, our tongues silenced, our spirits tested. Yet, even in chains, Africa's soul could not be broken. But like the mighty Baobab, Africa stood tall again. We recalled our voices, our land, our pride, a new dawn, a new year, still standing strong. And today, we wear our culture in our music, in our fashion, in our stories. Afrobeat moves the world. Adire fabrics tells our heritage, and our voices echo around the globe. Africa is not just history, it is the future. Never forget who we are, for the spirit of Africa never fades. It only grows stronger.
There is no
corporate wear, a two-piece. Adire can change the world. Let's do Africa.
Land of blessing.
You see, happy birthday to you from River State. We are led by Chief Daye Awanta and his wife, all the way from River State. We have come here to showcase our culture, our tradition. We want to play as the Kalabari area dancers. Thank you. Remain tuned.
Obasanjo, Your Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State, Your Excellency, the Governor of Osun State, the former governors that are here, former Governor Nwodo, former Governor Achikudenwa, former Governor Emeki Hedioha, former Governor Samegu, and all the dignitaries that are here, former Senate President Wambara, all the dignitaries that are here, let me stand on all due and existing protocols. Mine is a simple one, is to say happy birthday to our dear father, who have in a contributed immeasurably to the growth of this country. While I was coming here this morning, I was telling the person I was driving with, I said, when Baba became president of Nigeria in May 1999, this country merely had a GDP of $59 billion. And when he left, 8 years after, we were 278. And you can now check that today we are below 200. The rest is for you to go and imagine. Mine is that look at people's progress from figures, from simple statistics. So, Papa, congrats for what you did for Nigeria. And I thank all of you that are here to be part of this. May God Almighty continue to keep you, as you said earlier, so that as we start building that new Nigeria that is possible, that you still be here to witness it. Thank you and God bless you. Happy birthday.
Your Excellency, our Baba, our living legend, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, former head of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Chief Aremu Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR, who today we are celebrating his 88th birthday to the glory of God. I also like to acknowledge and appreciate Baba's wife, Chief Mrs. Bola Obasanjo. You see, my brother.